Okay, so today on Erica's Book Club, I would like to talk about my new book, which is Flat Earth News by Nick Davis. And Flat Earth News is all about, I'm going to try and stop rocking, okay? Just let me know if I do, okay? And also my head, it's a bit wonky, isn't it? There, okay, I'm going to hold it just there and tell you a bit more about this book. So this book was recommended to me, there it is, by my good friend Paul, and it's all about the myth of the media telling the truth about stuff. I haven't read the papers since the war broke out against Iraq in 2003, it must have been, at which point I was working at the civil service and just became really despairing that the information that was made available to us wasn't necessarily accurate. So at the time I'd had access to the dossier about the Iraq War, and it was perfectly plain from reading that there was no grounds on which to invade Iraq. Besides which, how did we get from plain terrorism trade centre to let's invade Iraq? Iraq had been a problem for many years. A lot of people, professional people in Iraq, have been having an extremely hard time under the regime. People were really suffering, and nothing was done. And then suddenly there was some abstract link made by the media between what happened on September 11th and the sort of justification of invading Iraq. And the invasion of Iraq is a real key part of this book, the explanation being made by Nick Davis, who's a journalist for The Guardian, of how stories become kind of tumbled into one another and achieve a kind of consensus and momentum before they're really proven to be fact. And that's why the book actually is called Flat Earth News, because until somebody went to go and check, everybody was saying that the world was flat, and he gives that as a kind of metaphor for how the news spreads these days. And the first chapter in the book is about the Millennium Bug, which was another one of those stories that built up and built up and built up, and seemed to have all sorts of drama and lots of experts and evidence talking about how when the clocks changed on computers from midnight 1999 to the first few minutes of 2000, that all of the computer systems around the world were going to crash, and the next day, nothing happened. And all these people who had made a lot of money and predictions and caused a lot of drama about the Millennium Bug just very quietly stepped out of the sea. So yeah, I highly recommend Flat Earth News. It's a really great way of unravelling what exactly is going on with media stories, and it's also not about a real, finding somebody to blame. It's a more complex system than that, but it certainly shows the ways in which capitalism and commercialism have fed into the lack of impartiality and truth-telling in the media. So I hope you enjoy it. Nick Davis, thanks very much for that, and I look forward to seeing you all again soon. Ta-ra!